I knew that was going to happen to him. Walking forward with the hands down on the opening bell, you're going to get walloped.
People saying that he reminds us of you and all that stuff.
No way, does he? He has the same tattoos. He says the same stuff.
Right in front of shit. Right in front of you. Do something about it.
He does the same fucking movements.
Have they understood it?
He was going to scream on the thing. I wish him well. He's all right. I like him. Maybe.
Conor McGregor has weighed in on Ilia Topuria's brutal loss to Justin Gaethje at the UFC White House card. And rather than focusing on the injuries or the aftermath, he's focused on something completely different. According to McGregor, there were warning signs heading into the fight that many people simply ignored, and he believes the result wasn't nearly as surprising as some fans are making it out to be. The comments immediately grabbed attention because McGregor has never been shy about sharing his opinion on fighters who are compared to him. For years, fans have pointed towards similarities between himself and Topuria, whether that's the confidence, the trash talk, the swagger, or the way both men seemed capable of building huge momentum around their names. As Topuria's popularity exploded, those comparisons only became louder, with some fans even suggesting he could become the next superstar capable of reaching the type of mainstream success McGregor achieved during his prime.
Combat sport is big here in Spain. I'm not here for no reason, my man.
Maybe Ilia Topuria.
Topuria, bum, bum, bum. Slap him back, slap the head off him. No problem. No problemo. Slap him back to Georgia. Is that there for me to answer that? Yes. That one there? How do you think you would beat Ilia Topuria? I grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah? Little ding-dong of a thing he is, yeah? I'm fucking Spanish. I'm in Marbella, bro, yeah? I'm in Marbella at the bare knuckle stall and let's see what's what. We'll bounce in the yoke, have a bare knuckle. You little fool, I'll cave your head in.
McGregor, however, has never appeared completely convinced by that idea. In recent discussions surrounding the fight, he reportedly suggested that Topuria was making technical mistakes that would eventually catch up with him against the wrong opponent. The biggest criticism centered around the way Topuria was entering range and applying pressure, with McGregor arguing that against someone as experienced and dangerous as Justin Gaethje, small defensive mistakes can become huge problems over the course of a fight.
Ilia Topuria will look back and go, why didn't I let him up?
What about that 1 minute between the rounds? If Ilia had to come out with that 1 minute when they were looking at him and he said he couldn't see, Justin might have stopped him right then. Ilia had a full minute to completely recover that he should have gotten. Inexperienced doctor.
They overruled doctor who may not have been as experienced in this.
Mark said it was an inexperienced doctor. You gotta let them fight.
Gotta let them fight.
If they want to fight, you gotta let them fight.
I do this one, but we'll start at the top. Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. I don't know shit about fighting. I said every single prediction. Later in the week, I'm like, damn.
20%. You gave him 20%.
Yeah, no. There was a little bit, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, Ilia is so fucking confident and so sharp and so skilled, and Gaethje's too wild. Ilia's going to knock him out. I was like set. My mind was so set on that. He just fucking broke Ilia's face. He broke his mental. And that was like, that's Ilia's at the hospital 100%, probably for the next little while. That was one of the most crazy, inspiring performances I've ever seen.
Did it show on the broadcast Ilia like fainting when they were leaving or not?
Yeah, he was like resting on his brother's arms on the way out, like nearly collapsing into him quite badly. Dude, he's got a broken orbital, broken cheekbone.
Is that confirmed?
I'm confirming it. I don't even know.
You're a doctor.
Based on the fights I've seen and the results that we've had back.
And your medical degree.
Yes, I'm actually Dr. Guru here, ready to diagnose Ilia Topuria.
What's interesting is that when you go back and watch the contest, you can understand why so many people are debating that perspective. The fight wasn't decided by one dramatic moment. It wasn't decided by one punch. It was decided through accumulation. As the rounds progressed, Gaethje continued finding opportunities to force exchanges, disrupt Topuria's rhythm, and turn the contest into the type of relentless battle that has defined his entire career. Rather than allowing Topuria to settle into a comfortable pace, he constantly forced reactions, constantly applied pressure, and gradually dragged the fight into territory where experience became a major factor.
This might be 2-2. Topuria's on the comeback. 2-2? 2-2, I'd say. First two to Topuria. Next two to Gaethje.
They've hardly mentioned his face being beaten to him. Look at that.
Oh, they're stopping it.
There you go.
Oh, they stopped it. Wow.
Oh, there we go.
The big backflip's coming. He might be too tired for that. No, he's done it.
He's done it.
Oh.
Oh, he's done it. Watch your neck.
I would say definitely not a rematch. I mean, I made him quit on the stool. It's not like there was, he hurt me, and I think it was 3-1. I've been in 3 rounds to 1. You know, in any election, that's a domination.
Justin Gaethje, the biggest underdog on the card. Ilia Topuria, the new sensation, the new superstar of the sport, just got pieced up, demolished, and stopped by the doctor at the end of round 4. Justin Gaethje, the highlight, gets it done at the White House, does the backflip off the octagon. Oh my God.
Oh, it's really hard to put it into words right now. I mean, just trying to enjoy this moment. And yeah, it was such a crazy ride. We had a lot of delays. A couple of the, like the rehearsal delayed, tonight delayed. But yeah, it just, you know, these are the, again, I wouldn't recommend this to my enemy. We are some of the toughest people on this earth, mentally, physically. All these guys up here and all the guys that lost tonight. We, and me specifically, I've said it from day one, I'm a promoter's wet dream. And I proved that tonight.
And, you know, you gave him all the respect in terms of, like, his skill set in there. You know, said probably the second best guy you prepared for outside of Khabib. But now that you're through Ilia, was he as good as you thought he was? Was he better than you thought he was? Just can you talk about what you experienced in there with him?
I mean, he's very good. I mean, my liver still hurts right now. Those body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast. But, you know, when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. And, you know, again, I said it in the press conference leading up. I was like, he really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. And I said it. When we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? And, you know, that's what I did tonight.
Did you feel he was broken after he didn't get that finish?
I never felt he was broken because he was so dangerous at the whole time. But in the third round, when I started landing those jabs, when he started finding his back foot, I knew something was different.
That's why so many fighters have praised the performance since fight night. A lot of people expected Topuria to win. A lot of people expected him to continue his rise. Very few people expected Gaethje to completely change the narrative surrounding the division in a single night. Yet that's exactly what happened. The fascinating part now is how the loss affects Topuria moving forward. Before the UFC White House card, much of the conversation centered around how high he could climb and which massive fights might be waiting for him next. Afterwards, the conversation became more complicated because fans suddenly found themselves asking questions they hadn't really considered before. Was Gaethje simply the better fighter on the night? Was it a stylistic nightmare matchup? Or did the fight expose weaknesses that future opponents will now try to target? That's where McGregor's comments have continued generating attention. Not because everyone agrees with him, because enough people think he may have identified something important. The reality is that elite fighters often notice details that casual fans don't. Small positioning errors, defensive habits, and subtle technical flaws can look insignificant until they are exposed against the highest level of competition.
I think if he fights the right fight, he will learn a lot from that. I think Ilia wins the rematch. And that's that's no knock on Justin at all. It's just like, obviously Ilia was a favorite for a reason. But yeah, I just think that, you know, Ilia, if he doesn't rush as much, fights at a little bit better distance, and then, you know, does what he usually does, sets up nice traps, he'll eventually find him. But yeah, being so aggressive is sort of what cost him, I believe. Look at his career, and, you know, it didn't look like he was gonna ever actually feel the real undisputed belt, and then he goes and massive underdog White House, and then fights the perfect fight and gets the win. Like, that's what adds to this story. I think that's incredible and good on him. Like, you know, I mean, I'm obviously a fan of both guys. You know, a big fan of Ilia, and for Justin to do what he did, mate, well done.
Once that happens, the entire conversation around a fighter can change overnight. At the same time, many people have pushed back against the criticism, pointing out that one loss doesn't suddenly erase everything Topuria accomplished before stepping into the cage. He remains one of the most talented fighters in the sport, one of the biggest names in the division, and one of the few athletes capable of generating massive interest every time he competes. That's why the future remains so intriguing. Some fans want to see an immediate rematch with Gaethje. Others believe a showdown with Paddy Pimblett now makes more sense than ever. And then there are those who simply want to see how Topuria responds after experiencing the first truly difficult chapter of his UFC career. Regardless of where people stand, one thing is clear. Justin Gaethje's victory didn't just create a new contender or produce one of the biggest stories of the year. It's opened up an entirely new debate about Ilia Topuria, his future, his style, and whether the next phase of his career will be defined by this setback or by the comeback that follows it. And judging by the reaction from Conor McGregor and the wider MMA world, that debate is only getting started.